Hello. The purpose of this video is to go over registering for classes next year. I've had some students ask me. I'm going to send this out to parents. So if you're watching this on there, I'm going to give you information about the science classes. I could, if you email me, I could try to help you with some of the other classes, but I'm other subject areas, but that's not my expertise on there with it. I'm just focusing on the science classes right here. This document, I'm going to put these on my in your son or daughter's Canvas account or on there with it. If you have this. I don't have that. Let's see. This document right here. This is really kind of a neat document. It does say 2018, 2019, but it's the same on there. It'll work. It's kind of this nice flow chart, okay, on there. So if you are in biology right now, which you are, because if you're in one of my classes here with this, if you're environmental issues right now, I'll show you the same video here. If you're a senior up, so you don't have to worry about this. But if you're a freshman, a sophomore, or a junior here, this flow chart I think works out nice here. So if you're taking biology, which you are, all right, these are going to be your options for next year here. Okay, so you could take chemistry, which is a year-long class, physics, a year-long class, geology, and then we have these other semester classes here with it. Okay, now what's the typical route that students take is that they take chemistry if they're college bound. They want chemistry. Well, why? Because that allows you to go on and take the CAP biology the next year with it, or the CAP chemistry class on there with it. Okay, those are the ones you can receive college credit for. All right. Now you can take physics. You can do that option, but traditionally students have done the chemistry route because that opens up the doors to the CAP chemistry, CAP biology classes there with it. Okay. If you notice, prerequisite for a lot of these classes are chemistry here. Do I have students that have done both of these at the same time, chemistry and physics? Yes, but those are two very rigorous courses. Okay, that takes a special student to do that with it. Okay. Now, one of the things though, if you're interested in science, all right, I mean, just a quick thing too. Everyone needs to graduate high school. You're going to need 3 science credits. Okay, and they have to be a physical science credit. Well, don't get caught up in that. Well, what is physical science in there? Well, that would be chemistry. That would be physics. That's what those are. Now we have a class here, literally physical science, which biology students, some of you have taken that. The freshmen in biology wouldn't have taken that, but if you're in biology and you're a freshman, you haven't taken a physical science credit yet, and you'll have to take that by taking chemistry next year. So that's going to be your route on there. Or you could, like I said, you could do physics too on there. But traditionally, students take chemistry on there. Okay, and then you're going to need an additional science credit. So you're in biology, you're getting that credit. If you're already if you're a sophomore in biology here and you're already taking physical science, that's out of the way. And then, we have other options here too. We have geology too. So if you're geology, what is geology? I've got these classes here too, but geology is where you're studying, the earth. You're talking about plate tectonics, those things with it. Okay, that's a year-long class also with it. All right. Going back to my flow chart here. That's the wrong document. All right. So now let's say you want to take chemistry, but you say, well, I want to take another science class. Well, we've got these other science classes: environmental issues, medical terminology, health career, astronomy. Now, I don't want you to get the feeling that these are, you don't have to do anything, but they're not as rigorous as say chemistry, as physics here is. Okay. So you could take chemistry and if you're interested in going into the medical field, well, what is medical terminology? That's looking at combining forms, prefixes, suffixes of words, like we talked about EU meaning true. We've talked about that this year with eukaryotes, right? We talked about, osteo meaning bone. Well, that's what that class is looking at. Okay. Environmental issues is a class that I teach. That's where we're looking at air quality. We look at water. Oshkosh, we have a lot of water around us. We look at water issues with it. We look at the energy conservation. We talk about alternative energies in there too with it. Okay, and we go into land populations and talk about things called carrying capacity. Those things with it. Okay, is it as rigorous as chemistry or biology? No, it's not. Okay, on there with it. But I don't want to get you the impression that you don't have to do anything, but it's not as rigorous in there. Okay, same as health careers. That's a neat class. Ms. Schilling teaches it here at West. That just explores all the different kind of jobs in the healthcare field. She brings in a lot of speakers, and they talk. I don't, during COVID, might have not been able to do that as much, but she brings in the speakers, and they talk about, like an X-ray technician. What do they do? A dental hygienist, things like that. So she goes through, careers in the healthcare field. Astronomy. We have a variety of teachers that teach that at West here, but we're looking at the constellations, the stars there with it. Our students, seem to enjoy that class too. Like I said, it's not a class that you don't have to do anything, but it's not going to be as rigorous as these. So you could take chemistry, and these are semester. You could take medical terminology one semester, and you could take health career the other one. Well, that would be 2 science credits that you would be doing in 1 year. Now I know you have other classes to take. So let's say you wanted to do medical terminology, and then you want to take I think sociology is a semester class. I'm not positive on that, but you could do another semester class from a different department on there with it. Okay. Remember, you need a total of 3 years science with it. Okay. Now, so think about that. If you're a sophomore and you took physical science, and you have biology this year, you take chemistry. That's all the sciences that you would need to graduate high school. Okay, but then we have a lot of neat options here. I mean, just really great options we have where you can get college credit from the CAP biology class here. But notice we had to have chemistry to take that class. So that would be that would be the year after. So if you're a freshman right now, you would take this your sophomore year, and then this you could do your junior or your senior year. Okay. Now, what is physics? Physics is, a very good friend here at West that teaches physics, Mr. Ottman here. Physics is looking at the idea of motions, forces that, all right. Well, we look at energy in all fields, but the prerequisites are that is algebra and geometry. Okay. This is, engineers, but there's lots of uses for physics with it. I mean, tremendous. I mean, I took a kinesiology class in college, and we had a lot of, the physics of the body there with it. I mean, there's physics involved in a lot of things. All right. So, another option, another path for people is sometimes they take chemistry their junior year, and then they take physics maybe their senior year, or your sophomores. You could take physics. You could take so if you're a freshman right now, you could be taking so you got biology this year, you could take chemistry next year. So that would be then your junior year, you could take physics on there too. And that still would open the option of doing the CAP physics. Okay. So the CAP physics here with it. So, but I'm not trying to rule out that option of taking physics next year. And then that opens your CAP physics area here too with it. Okay. So, these are just the options on here with it. Another quick thing that, again, this isn't my expertise on here, but the one of the things that a CNA, okay, a CNA, we have a CNA class here. So if you take the health careers, you can be a CNA, okay, and the CNA here on there with it, it's a you can, use this and there's different jobs. I know that nursing assistants jobs that it's going to allow you to get into that field. Okay. If you want more information about that, um, you can email me. Mrs. Schilling is the one that deals with that at Oshkosh West here with it, but it's another option that's out there with it. Okay. Okay, let me just quickly, you're welcome to stop here. I'm just going to quickly run through this. Here's the the prerequisites. You have to have your 3 credits to graduate high school. Okay, um, let's see here. We've got our chemistry options. Now, let's come back to, but we have a Chem 1 and a Chem 2. Okay, it's going to be a AP chemistry class on there. All right. Then we have physics, and we have, a CAP physics class. And then we have geology, and then we have astronomy, environmental issues, and then we have UW biology on here. Now, this is one thing I think people do get confused. They look and they say, all right, I took biology. Shouldn't I take UW next? No, you got to have the chemistry first. Well, why? Well, think about that. We're covering, we're covering biochemistry right now, but we're not going as in depth into it. You need to have to truly understand, we get into DNA. Yeah, we're going to talk about hydrogen and covalent bonds, but to truly understand that structure, we've got to have a knowledge of chemistry behind it too with it. Okay. Now, the neat thing about these is you can get college credit from those with it. Okay. Hopefully this was helpful. Please don't be afraid to email me if you have any questions.